Diolch, Llywydd. And can I also add my condolences to the family of Paul Flynn? Although he was identified with Newport for many years, he was originally, by birth and upbringing, a Cardiffian, so both cities do lay some claim to him. I did contact Paul Flynn during the early stages of the referendum campaign. He as a genuinely independently minded politician, I was interested actually in where he stood on that, and I was very grateful for the email I received back from him. I was not publicly known at the time, so I was quite chuffed to get his response, and he clarified his position. We were on opposite sides of the fence, as it turned out, but I was grateful for his response, and I know he has at least one person here who worked for him in the past, and of course, as you mentioned, he was a supporter of devolution, so his legacy in many ways does live on. Now, First Minister, a fortnight ago, you answered questions here in the Chamber from the Conservative leader, Paul Davies, in which you expressed the wishes of the Welsh Government to address the issues of Holocaust denial and the growing prevalence within society of anti-Semitism. Will you reiterate that those wishes still form your outlook and that the Welsh Labour Government is still genuinely committed to tackling these problems?
Well, the Welsh Government is committed to challenging stigma wherever that takes place, to protecting the rights of all members of our society, whatever their faith or culture. That is absolutely the case in relation to anti-Semitism, but it is true in relation to forms of abuse that other communities in Wales have experienced, and we are committed to that right across the board.
Okay, thank you, First Minister, for that commitment. I'm not sure that the Labour Party is likely to be an effective vehicle from which to tackle the specific problem of anti-Semitism, though. We saw yesterday that 7 Labour MPs felt moved to leave the Labour Party, one of the reasons which they cited being the increasing prevalence of anti-Semitism within the Labour Party. Indeed, one of them said that the Labour Party is now institutionally anti-Semitic. Now, we had a Welsh Government statement on this 18 months ago, which talked about training for officials to make them more aware of anti-Semitism and working with Victim Support Cymru to identify instances of this. Given that the problem appears to be increasing, does the Welsh Government now need to do more?
Well, I think that awareness training is very important, that it is essential that as new challenges emerge, that people keep that up to date, and that is true not simply of people who work for the Welsh Government, it's true of people who work in the Welsh Government, and so I would say that it is true of any member of this Assembly as well.
Yes, I agree with your sentiments, First Minister. I do think you need to look closely at your own party. There has been one investigation by Shami Chakrabarti. There has been one investigation by Shami Chakrabarti, which was rather undermined when she immediately joined the Labour Party. Then, within weeks of finishing the so-called inquiry, she was given a Labour frontbench seat in the House of Lords. Hers was clearly a whitewash rather than a genuine inquiry. We now have another inquiry going on in which your party's General Secretary refuses to reveal how many complaints of anti-Semitism within the Labour Party she's received because the truth is just too embarrassing. First Minister, how long can your Welsh Government go on pretending to be against this form of racism when your party is utterly riddled with this problem from top to bottom?
It is like arriving in a parallel universe to receive questions from the party that embraces Tommy Robinson and a creed that he is prepared to advocate, and then ask for other parties to account for themselves. Let me be clear, Llywydd, there is absolutely no place in my party or anywhere else in Wales for prejudice against people of other races or religions, and that does not simply include those that the member has referred to today, but all those others that in the past he has been prepared to attack in the position that he now occupies.